We bought a home from Marietta Homes in March of 2023. We had had a home inspection done prior to moving in, and there were deficiencies and defects that were found on that inspection report. We had given it to the builder, and we were under the impression that those deficiencies had been fixed. Our first week of living in the house, our AC unit was not working. Ultimately, after a week of having no AC, they had to replace the compressor. Within that first year of living there, we had 3 different documented leaks. One was inside the pantry. When they installed the wire racks, they hit a plumbing line. Next was inside the HVAC, and the last one was in the roof. There was 3 different leaks within our roof. We had reported all of that to Meritage, and because it was still our first year, we were under warranty, and they had repaired all of those leaks. After a year and a half, maybe 2 years of unexplained illnesses, we went ahead and had our home checked for mold, and unfortunately we found out that we had very high levels of toxic mold, the worst being black mold in our HVAC unit. So we had turned everything into Meritage, and they had agreed to give us $350 a day for hotel and for food. This was all documented on email. They had said that they would reimburse us and to send in all our receipts. So week after week, we were sending in our receipts. Meritage said that they were going to have a remediation company come in to remediate our entire home. After 1 month of them saying they were going to remediate and they were going to reimburse, they had emailed us saying that they would only reimburse us if we signed a release of liability. At this point, we had already racked up $14,000. We refused to sign a release of liability, and we moved in with my parents. We are a family of 5, and we were all sleeping on air mattresses. After 1 month of them saying that they would remediate and reimburse, they ultimately decided that they wanted to have a second opinion, so they wanted to have the house inspected. We were completely okay with it. Our only request that it would be a third party that they had no affiliation with. However, when we ended up calling that company, we found out that they do have an affiliation with them.
Interesting.
Okay, fine. They refused, even at that point when we had said, please, can we work together? Can we truly find a third-party company that can come in and do a fair assessment? They refused. Okay, so they sent in their company.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. Like, subscribe, follow, because there's more to this. She's got 3 parts to this. This is the first part. I'm going to start by saying the reason why she ended up in that situation, the realtor didn't do their job. And that's really it. When she did the inspection, the builder, and handed the builder the list of items that they had. The builder corrected those items, said they were done. She went in and signed, her and her husband, but the agent now is supposed to take that list, it's done, and you're supposed to do your final walkthrough with the builder.
Our last request was that they would have a fair comparison, that they would do everything that our company that we had paid and hired did. So swabs, tape testing, all of that. They had agreed, and then once the company got there, the warranty representative had refused to do any swabs or tape testing on our home. He had said unless he seen visible mold, he was not going to allow the company to do any swabs or tape testing.
So at that point, you don't want to incur the cost, but you do have to hire a mold company separate from theirs to actually do their own analysis. You pay them, they pay their mold company. Guess what? Side by side, it'll tell you exactly what happens.
The only area that they saw visible mold in was on a attic rafter. So the lab work came back, and sure enough, it showed that there was mold. Meritage then said that they would remediate that area. They never did. So after about I don't know, maybe at this point we're going on 2 months, 2.5 months, we decided to retain an attorney. Our attorney had sent multiple demand letters. None of them were met. And ultimately they decided that they wanted to bring out another company. Okay, part 2. I had no idea that the video was going to blow up, I guess, in a sense. Not that it's like crazy, but we've gotten a lot of views and a lot of comments, and I'm just super grateful for sharing our story and for making other people aware. Our entire goal out of all of this is just for them to do the right thing. And I think ultimately, had they not made those promises in the beginning to remediate, reimburse, and all of that, maybe I wouldn't be speaking out. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think that you should hold true to what you say. And I think that you should take accountability and responsibility. So part 2. The company comes out to do an assessment on the house. We were out of town when it happened, and our attorney and my dad were present for the assessment. So I will attach the video surveillance.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. They don't want to be demanded, or they're demanding, or we buy that.
So when he said that we were living there, we were
Them damn. Oh man, you guys, they got you with that doorbell. They got you on video.
not living there. We had not been living there. We had left on April 9th. They were there at the house in July. And when they came to do the assessment, the home was vacant. There's a difference between a reading on a vacant home versus a home that is being occupied. Our home had been vacant, I think at this point, May, June, July, 3 to 4 months. Our home had not been lived in. Okay, so now we're gonna do the air sampling video footage. So for people that don't know how air sampling with mold works, is it's a sample machine and it's on a tripod, and they take an outdoor reading and they take an indoor reading. So the outdoor reading, essentially you want that to be higher than the indoor reading, so that's how they can then consider it safe. So if your indoor air quality is lower than outdoor, then they consider the home safe at that point. So the way the air sampling is supposed to be done is So I'm going to attach the video, and then you can see that the main guy from the company, what he tells his assistant to do.
Have you started it? Drop the tripod all the way to the ground. And pick up some of that mulch and stick it in the mulch. I won't have samples outside.
Sampling doesn't. Oh wow.
Okay, so obviously, as you can tell, he had instructed him to stick the tripod in the mulch. Well, mulch has high levels of mold. When they came inside the home, they continued to do air sampling. However, they never swabbed or tape tested the HVAC unit itself. And they were aware that our HVAC had black mold in it based off of the inspector that we had out. So they had 2 companies now. The first one when everything first happened, and then the second one months later. Neither company swabbed the inside of our HVAC. Why wouldn't you just swab it? Why wouldn't you see what the levels are at?
Well, here's the other one I'm going to show you. Every now and then, you got to do your own thing. Now, this thing might put you in a little bit of your brain on the unit and just putting up. Yeah, the conversation like that. Take a picture of that.
All right, I can't hear that clearly. Maybe you can hear it, but I can't hear that really clearly. But it looks like they definitely are talking about the situation and discussing it right there, huh?
There is so much more to our story, and I know I will be posting more about it. But I wanted to give you guys a part 2. There will be a part 3 coming.
And I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, so the biggest thing that you can learn from this story, I'm going to tell you guys, is when you deal with these builders, you can't trust them. You don't trust these builders. The agents that you have, they are more, open to trust them because they're getting a commission. And I've been paying commissions from builders also. Builders like to throw in an extra bonus on top of that. If it closes, then you get an extra bonus before this time, blah, blah, blah. That sounds great to the agent, but it doesn't do anything for the buyer, especially if the agent has all of these due diligence requests from the buyer. The seller says he's doing it, the builder, but they're not really doing it, or they're doing it and they wait until the last minute, which is the last day of closing or day before closing, to get it done. I've been in those situations before. I've seen those situations before. It's hard talking buyers out of getting away from that brand new home that they want to get because it's brand new. And they feel that since it's brand new, that means things won't break and they'll have a longer life cycle on it. Where I truly believe the older the house, I'm not talking about 50s and you're in 2026, but let's say a good 15, 20, probably a good 30 years in a house. That's when the house is really starting to work. That's when you're starting to get the best out of it. And I found, depending on where you live in the country, when you buy an older home, you typically get a better built home and you get more land. Now, that's not true all the time, but it is true a lot of the time. That's why you have baby boomers. That's why you've got older folks staying in their property in some cases for 30, 40, 50 years. They'll stay there for a while. Like, I've got neighbors in my neighborhood. They've been here 30 years. Some of them were here in 86. I was graduating from high school in 97 and they were here, already here, had been here for about 5 years before that. So there's something about buying these older homes, and these newer homes aren't being built to the level that some of these older homes were built. And this is just my opinion. You may feel different about it. If you do, leave a comment below and tell me what you think about this. But in this type of situation here, the ball was dropped at the beginning, like I said, of not following up on the due diligence. And now it's just a matter of going back and forth between their attorneys and your attorneys. But I can very much bet that there are other people that have experienced this same situation with that specific builder, and they're just putting themselves in a position for a class action lawsuit. Hey, this is the thing when you deal with when you're dealing with these builders, man. Some of them are great, some of them are terrible, but they all use branding, and of course they work through realtors. They've got their own in-house sales team, they've got their own agents, they've got their own lenders, and their lenders tend to draw a lot of buyers in. Buyers see the different points and the closing costs and the specials that they get from using the builder's lenders. So they'll drop their builder, their lender, which I've had happen in the past, and just go with the builder's lenders because they want to save the most money. But guess what? The builder's also trying to save the most money. They're trying to give you a product, but they don't quite care. And this is not all builders. You do have specific types of builders. You know who I'm talking about. I've spoken about them plenty of times on this channel, and I'm going to continue to speak about it because the more you know about this, the better you are strategically when it comes to situations like this, and you're not caught out there $15,000, $20,000 in a hole trying to figure out what to do. You got a mortgage already on this property, and I hate to say it, she's been paying her mortgage this whole time. That's the worst part about it for me, is the fact that she's been paying this mortgage the whole time. It's sad. It's not right. And nothing's going to change, and I personally believe, until real estate commissions and real estate boards and brokerages start arming these buyer agents on how to actually take care of the buyers better when they're dealing with builders. And if the state commission, depending on where you live, whether it's California, you know y'all love to pass laws, New York, whether it's Georgia, Florida, Texas, it doesn't matter. When the state starts to stand up for the rights of the buyers, okay, buying homes from these big corporations such that are builders, then we can see the right laws go into place to hold these guys accountable because they're not being held accountable. And that's just my opinion on it. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I will see you on the next video. Peace.